Hey Piper, how is everybody? I hope very well on this Wednesday evening. It's warmed up a little here in Louisiana. I don't know, we're in the 30s. Got a little rain this evening. It scared me a little bit because I thought, well, I know for a fact I seen a snow flurry or two, but while I was picking Emily up from school, but just a little bit too warm to rain. But its temperatures are climbing back up. Hopefully we'll be in the 60s by Saturday. Hopefully I'll be on the lake Saturday. So anyhow, I had done a request, replaced a request to Guy Witherspoon to smoke a pipe of his that I just love and always enjoy seeing him smoke, and that was his Harcourt Freehand. It's one of my favorites. He's got several that I really like. That's one of my favorites. And then, coincidentally, I had a request from Philip Piper Field to smoke an English blend. And so, in honor of Guy Witherspoon smoking his freehand, I'm smoking mine, my golden handmade freehand. And I looked at several. My first choice was, I keep several Englishes on hand. My first choice was Delta Mojo from our friends at Big Star, and Crossroads Greg, who was a friend to many of us. He perfected that blend, and he's the creator of it and done a wonderful job on it. I'm not really sure. I don't think Greg is any longer affiliated with Big Star, but anyway, great blend. I did a video on it way back, and it is truly a good English blend. And it's also another one that I overlooked, should have made my top 10. I think it may have last year, but anyhow, I think it made my mid-year top 5. Well, I pulled out, opened the jar lid on the decanter, and it was dry, so I'm having to take disc and rehydrate it. I moved on to Squadron Leader. It needs to be rehydrated, and so I said, well, I'll go to a Frog Morton, either cellar or, and I wound up with what I'm smoking tonight is a Frog Morton on the Bayou. This is really a bulk, and I'm not sure. I guess this would be called an English blend. I've been looking under some top 10 English blends, and any of the Frog Mortons on one of the pipe review pages, some guy recommended any of the Frog Mortons, so they called it an English blend, but this it's heavy in Latakia, so let's get it fired up. I would like to I'd like to put out a sort of a on-air request, or whatever, it's not on air, but on video request. If you have a freehand, let's sometime this week, let's make this a freehand week, so to speak. If you have a freehand, smoke it. I know Piper Field's got a good looking one he smoked from time to time. I like a freehand style. It's they're unique, and they're kind of mysterious, and they're just good look. You know, it's one of my favorite shapes. Boswell's make some great looking ones, and one of these days I want to try to get one. But today, pretty much for the day, I've been smoking Havana Honey. It's a Don Juan out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It's one of their, I think it's probably their top blend. And we, first time I smoked it was with, we went down with the Louisiana Mississippi Coon-Ass Pipers meeting down there several months back, and with Nathan and Rachel and Big Smoking Wolf and Calendar and myself. Spent the day and went there and then to Bayou Tobacco. And myself and Nathan and Rachel split a pound of it, so I smoked on it a while, and then here, I don't know, month or 6 weeks ago, I had to reorder. It's one that I definitely keep in my rotation, and it is one that they definitely blend. We've seen them making it while we were there. It is definitely a house blend, and it's good. Havana honey. And of course, the Baton Rouge location ships anywhere. The New Orleans location, unfortunately, has told me on the phone they do not. So when my son leaves New Orleans at the end of the month, of course, his fiance, future wife, is from there, so they'll go back from time to time. I've got to keep my direct line to my Hoodad and my Uptown Opulence blends. It comes from that Don Juan's. They used to be owned by the same company. The parent company sold them off. Now they're two individual owners. I've not seen the one in New Orleans, but the one in Baton Rouge, if you ever get a chance, it is a really nice, comfortable place. I mean, when you go there, I mean, they've got, super good lounge. They've got people, ladies and another guy that come around. They've got coffee, they've got soft drinks, they bring around tins. There was several groups sitting around, and I know in our group they brought 3 or 4 tins, and brand new tins, and cranked them open, set them on the coffee table, and we tried them. That's how I came about with the Irish whiskey and Sunset Breeze. That prompted me, of course, but the only thing they had left at the time was Sunset Breeze. It's a great amaretto by Peterson's. And then when it got left, I got ready to go. I was going to get it and the Irish whiskey. They had sold out by the time we left. All right. We got our initial char light, and then, excuse me, our permanent light. This old Frog Morton. This came from M.A. Smoke Shop on the Bayou. It is says smooth and dark. I need some reading glasses. My wife's. I don't own it. Well, anyway. Smooth and dark and calming, like the waters on the bayou. I can't read it today. A lot of days I can, but when vacationing on the bayou, Frog Morton prefers this satisfying Balkan pint tobacco blend, to which he adds just enough of Louisiana's own richly fragrant and cool smoking Perique. So this has Latakia and Perique in it, and this is from our friends at McClellan Tobacco Company, Kansas City, Missouri, USA. So this is a US made blend. And I have to say, this tin, and I've rehydrated it, I know, once with a hydrating disc. This little tin is a year old, and it still was, and it's been several months since it's had any attention to rehydrating. But I gotta say, when I first smoked this was so strong. It was not a go-to. Of course, it's perfect in the cool weather. But I gotta say, this has mellowed into, and this is the first time I've smoked this in months, and this has mellowed into a fine. Age has been good. Has been very kind to this Frog Morton. Mike Smokenbriar said on a video the other day he's going to try to get down to 12 or 15 blends. Well, of course, I've had several blends gifted to me, and I'm always grateful for that. Always on a mission to try new blends, and that's been, that's part of the fun of this hobby is trying and collecting the new blends. It's kind of like you're on an adventure, to go through your aromatics, your English, Balkans, your straight Virginias, your Burleys, your Oriental. Try the different makeups of Perique and whatnot. And so over the couple of years that I've really been into that, up until I really got involved with the pipe community here on YouTube, I kept 3 or 4, 5, 6 blends on hand. Well, my goodness, it just ballooned. And, you'd hear somebody talk about a blend and you'd order it. And then, of course, got with Sutliff on their, and Matt Barron's on their review team. And I've got so much tobacco, and I'm fixing to go through it and send some of it out and to see it go to good use, some of my blends, because what happens is just like Mike says, especially in aromatic, over time, they'll sit there and they'll lose their flavor. You'll fire something up. I got something the other day. I don't remember what it was. IQ from MA's, which I've often said, I think it's their. I think they take the Lane Limited 1Q, call it IQ, and I think they add a little something to it. But anyway, it had lost, it's 14, 15 months old, and it had lost some of its flavor. And plus, it's just like with the Squadron Leader and the Delta Mojo, if you don't stay on top of them, which I have neglected in the last couple of months, or month really, usually I got 4 or 5 of those discs, and you don't need but a couple of them, but I usually keep them working in something, and it's, every 2 or 3 days I'm changing one and being sure that they stay properly hydrated. And of course, you need to use distilled water if you can. I did not tonight because I was out of it to keep the mold down, or mildew or whatever. But if you're going to keep a bunch of blends in hand, you need to invest in the little disc or $1 a piece. And like I say, you can wash them out. You can take from a straight heavy Latakia and go right into a straight Burley, and you're not going to ghost it or contaminate it. As long as you wash it out, you don't need but a couple. But you need to invest in some, and if you're going to keep a bunch on hand. It's something you really need to do to protect your investment. I just got through downloading. I love to play stimulation games. Of course, I've been on the Sid Meier's Civilization 5 game kick here for it's war. But it's so realistic. I mean, you can play forever and go into different. Anyway, I like those. I like Roller Coaster Tycoon, where you manage these. You have to make a profit, where you manage a zoo or a water park or an amusement park. And used to have one years ago, and I hadn't found it, called Arabiz, where you could be the chairman of the board of an airline company, and you had to buy different planes. You had to keep it profitable. So one I picked up the other day was Farming Simulator, and I never got this thing to download. It was a nightmare. You got to go through Steam just like you do on the Sid Meier's, and Steam, which that allows you to be online. You can play online, play with other people, but you also have to put in codes. It keeps you from sharing these things and using one person buying a disc and downloading it. And it's a nightmare. I finally got it. I thought I was going to just take it back and swap it for something else. It just wouldn't load. But finally, a while ago, it just automatically came up, downloaded to Steam, and asked it I want to download it. And I said yes. Anyway, I'm running out of time. If you got a freehand, smoke it. Let's show them this week. And I'm running out of time. Y'all have a good one. Take care. God bless.